Empty the chamber on them. And how do you do that? First 6 seconds, point A to point B, everything you got. Everything you got. Turn that shit up. Let's go.
Welcome to Scoop World Order Sunday Night Live. We have a very special guest today. One of my favorite kids I've ever covered in recruiting, a kid that I absolutely love, who's going to be in Columbus in a week, ready for summer conditioning, ready to grind. So we're going to get right into that. But first, as always, we're thankful and grateful for you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you enjoy this content, click like, click subscribe. Love you guys being in here and asking questions. But I'm going to get right to the great. I call him the bad man. I call him Brandon Badman Inniss. He probably has no idea why I call him bad man, but every time I watch his film, I say, that is a bad man. I know he's Showtime because he likes the Lakers and all that, but, and LeBron moved on to round 2. Brandon Inniss, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Good, man. It's Game 7 Sunday, so that's good. The NBA playoffs are rolling along. I know you're super excited to get up here with your brother Carnell Tate, and you're ready to run some gassers. And it's funny because when you're down in Florida, it's a lot hotter. So you're going to get up here and feel like it's a cakewalk when you're running these conditioning deals because it's not 98 degrees up here. So how excited are you to get up and officially become an Ohio State Buckeye?
I'm very excited. I've been going up there in the spring practices. I just been watching and just getting around the guys, getting a feel for what it'll be like when I get there next weekend. And I just can't wait, and I'll finally be a Buckeye officially.
Yeah, I know that you wanted to come early due to American Heritage. They have a policy where kids can't graduate early, but it wasn't for lack of trying. You're not a kid that was trying to wait around and stay in Florida. You're trying to get up here. But the ability to get up here, how helpful was it to be around Brian Hartline and get kind of the down low from Carnell, who was able to come up early from IMG Academy? How helpful was that, in terms of your acclimation to what Ohio State does and seeing how they practice and being around Marvin and Emeka and some of these superstar guys that are, they aren't just superstar guys, but they're superstar workers and you can see their work ethic. How beneficial was that for you?
I think it was very beneficial. I'm glad I got the opportunity to come up there multiple times during the spring, and just talking to guys like Emeka and Marvin and even Carnell, since he already been there, And the day before the spring game, Emeka, he was talking to me. He was like, "Man, it's gonna be so easy once you just get into it and you get the playbook down. That's would be the main thing for me, just getting there, get the playbook." And Coach Hartline been telling me since the day I committed, it's like, "Bro, I need you up here. I need you up here now." And it sucks I couldn't come up here in springtime, but I'm ready to get into it.
Yeah, I've known Brian or Coach Hartline for a long time. We're both from Canton, Ohio. We're from the same area. He slept on my couch when he was, when he was in your shoes and he wasn't formally enrolled. He wanted to come up and work out and do extra before he was even allowed to enroll. He wanted to do conditioning, so
Exactly.
he'd sleep on my couch and we'd go to conditioning. And he wanted it, man. He wasn't scared of Ted. I mean, we had Ted Ginn and we had some guys that were beasts, and he wasn't scared of any of them. He wanted to kill all of them in every workout and every drill and every conditioning run. And he was a big time hurdler. I don't know if you know that about him, but he was a track star. So
Yeah, I heard. I heard.
he got the medals hanging up in the office probably. But did you do track this year?
No, I didn't actually, so I could start some of this NIL stuff because once you're like still a high school athlete, you can't.
Yeah.
So after the season was done.
That's smart, man. Well, I mean, I love track, but you don't want to pull a hamstring coming into Ohio State when conditioning starts as soon as you get here, basically. So I think it's a smart business decision. I know JJ, your boy JJ Smith is a fantastic hurdler.
Yeah.
I'm going to have you be an NFL scout for a second. Give me your scouting report on Carnell Tate. He's a guy you won a national championship with South Florida Express last year. What is Ohio State getting with Carnell Tate? Obviously, we got a nice glimpse of him in the spring. Obviously, he's got superstar upside. What are we getting in him?
I feel like you're getting a receiver that can do it all, really. He's silky smooth, and at the All American game, we were on the same team, like in pads, finally. And it's just in practice, nobody can mess with us. In the game, we see how that turned out. But I mean, Carnell, he's very detailed. You know, when he's in the meeting rooms, he's asking questions. He's never behind. I mean, and then even Coach Hartline brought up off the field for him. I mean, he's on point. Everything, every facet of life, he's just on point. In the classroom, he's on point. In film, he's on point. Treating his body, eating right, things like that. But Carnell, he's a hard worker. But I feel like the main thing for him is he just wants to win one, and he just wants to be great. And once you have that mentality, and the sky's the limit. And I know, but me and him being roommates, the sky's the limit for both of us.
Yeah, I think that the best thing about what you're walking into is, Brian Hartline is a tireless, crazy worker. The guy works like crazy. He's always been that way. He's always been driven. He's always had a chip on his shoulder. He's the kind of guy that has a chip on his shoulder when he doesn't really need to have a chip on his shoulder, which is great because he's going to be pushing guys like Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave and Jackson and Marvin and Emeka and Carnell and you and eventually JJ. I mean, what really excited you about coming to play for a guy like Brian Hartline?
I mean, I feel like just the past work he's done, putting guys like the like guys like you named, Garrett, Chris, and Jax, and Marv, and Emeka, and now even JMO when he was here developing him. I mean, the guys he put into the league, developed them over time. I feel like I'm a caliber guy he can help develop to get to my full potential and develop me into a first round receiver, just like them.
Yeah, that's the goal, man. You want to come get your work in, 3 and out, and be on that stage with Roger Goodell, just like you've seen over and over again. You've seen Olave, you've seen Wilson, you saw Jackson, on a Thursday night get it done. We're gonna switch gears real quick. We're gonna go to your boys, the South Florida Express, Brett Getz, Ricky Williams, Geno Smith, three fantastic coaches, three great mentors for you. What has South Florida Express and 7-on-7 football done for you, to you? Obviously, you met Carnell through that. What did all that do to help enhance your skill set, and what did those three guys specifically do to help build you as a man?
Well, first off, thank you for saying that at the end, man. They built my character so much since I've been playing with them since I was in seventh grade, and I mean, they put me on the map ever since I was a seventh grader. People have been knowing who I was now, and ever since then, I've just been enhancing my skill set in 7-on-7 in the off season, and once you play football year round, for me at least, it's fun. I mean, 7-on-7 is fun. I'm glad they let me play for them, and I appreciate all of them.
Yeah, and the thing about like 7-on-7, man, is like I've gone to some tournaments. They are no joke. I mean, you are going against guys, and there's no safety help. It's man on man, and it's extremely intense. There's a lot of trash talking, and I think that that's great because I think that the more of those environments you get put in, the less pressure you feel as you go up the next level. As you like when you go to Ohio State, like you'll be playing in big games. You're like, yeah, this is like playing the Immortals or some of these teams that you guys kind of hate each other, and it's kind of cool because you guys aren't out there, you're not cutting deals, you're not taking it easy on each other. You guys want to kill each other out there, which I think is great because again, that pressure, you guys are so ready to go. Like, I think that it helped Carnell when he shows up and he's played, the number one DBs in the country in some of these big tournaments in Vegas and California and Miami. And, you get to Ohio State, you're like, yeah, I've seen better guys, some better guys that are going to Bama or Georgia or Clemson, on the 7-on-7 circuit. How much does the year-round football help you and help kids specifically in South Florida develop? Because we don't have that in Ohio. I think it's a huge mistake. But how much has that developed you?
Oh, it developed me tremendously. I mean, just playing football year round, you're destined to get better. Like you're always doing something with football. So if you're doing that, I feel like you're always gonna get better. But not only get better, but you got to take it seriously. Like me, I'm an ultra competitive guy. Like I don't want to lose and things like that. But once you have that mindset like that, you're gonna get better. You're gonna win a lot of tournaments and things like that. So yeah.
Do you think, I know obviously you have fantastic ability, fantastic route runner, very tough. Do you think your intensity is your biggest trait? Because when I asked, the three godfathers of South Florida Express, they said the thing about Brandon is like, a lot of these guys are really, really, really good, but like they say your intensity is just at like just a whole different galaxy than most people. Because you step on that field and you are not playing around. This is not a game. This is like you're gonna come take somebody's soul. Is that, you think, your best trait or one of your best traits?
Yeah, I definitely feel like it's one of my best traits. I mean, when I have that type of intensity, the defenders get scared. And they know who I am. So they know,
Mm.
already knowing that in the back of their head, and then the intensity I have, they see me talking. I'm a big talker, but like once they see that, it gets in their head, and that's just the first step. That's easy. And then shoot, I just back it up on my play, so they can't really say nothing after that. But I feel like my intensity is definitely one of my best attributes.
Yeah, like one of the things about like a lot of these things is like when you are who you are and you're the number one receiver in the country, and these kids all see these lists from recruiting services. How, I mean, I don't think it's hard, just because, when you want to be great, you're always going to have a target on your back. But how different is it when you're kind of the marked guy? You're the guy who's got the Alabama offer, the Georgia offer, the Ohio State offer. You're committed to Ohio State. Does that change anything? Are you worried about guys taking shots at you? Or are you worried about guys trying to make a name against you? And I'm talking about both at Plantation and also on the 7-on-7 circuit. Did that change anything, or is that something you just never even thought of? The fact that you are the guy, you're the guy that, hey, if I stop this guy at a camp, then I might get an offer. Hey, if I can check this guy, then I might get an offer. Did that ever change or enter your mind when you were out there?
Well, first, I feel like I know they know who I am, so I know they want to come and make their name off of my name. So I know in the back of my mind, that just makes me go even harder. I'm not gonna let somebody come in and try to
Oh yeah.
embarrass me in a sense or do something like that. So just knowing that for me, I feel like that just makes me go 110% every time. I feel like every time I step on the field, I know somebody's gonna try to make a play on me. Somebody trying to make a highlight, put me on the highlight reel, things like that. So that's why I do what I do.
Yeah, I love that. Well, you're going to be up here shortly. Have they given you a number yet? I know that there's two that are in consideration. I know the one that I would give you, but have they assigned you a number, or do you have to wait until you walk into your locker cell and see what number they give you?
It's still in the works. Me, Coach Day, and Coach Hartline have had conversations about it. It's between number one and number 11. Um, I mean, if I have to wait a year to get one, I'll wait a year. But I mean, I'll take 11 too. There's two number ones, but it doesn't matter what number I get. I prefer one, but if it's not one, I'm gonna make 11 work.
Hey man, you get that Uno and you walk a day one, man. That means you're a straight dog. So I'm rooting for you to get the number one. I know what it means to wear number one. I was offensive tackle, so I had no chance of getting number one. But I know one goes the hardest, and everybody knows that. So I hope you get it. I think it'd be sick. Uh, what can Ohio State fans? We got a lot of people that are business owners watch this show. If someone wanted to work with you in an NIL fashion, sponsor you, what are they getting when they get to work with someone like Brandon Inniss?
I mean, they're getting a guy that's going to work extremely hard to better everybody around him. I always want to try to put the people that's around me in good situations, and I love to interact with people because you never know who you're going to come across and meet day to day. So I try to always stay polite to people and things like that. I mean, that's why I also like want to make it big because I want to get back to my community, and I feel
Mhm.
like if I do that, I'll motivate the kids to do the same thing. And once we get back to the community, we're being better as a community. And where I'm from, in South Florida, it's not always good as a community, but if we do the things like that, I just feel like we'll better the place where we live.
That's a fantastic answer. And final question: what does it mean to you to be finally an Ohio State Buckeye?
I mean, it means the world, man. I've been waiting for this opportunity for so long now, ever since I've been recruited by Coach Hartline since eighth grade. Um, I can't wait. I can't even really put it into words how much it means to me. But now I'm finally getting up there next Saturday. I feel like these next 3, 4 years, whatever it is going to be the best time of my life, and I can't wait to get to work.
Yeah, I think it's going to be fantastic. I love that you guys can get up here for summer conditioning and just start grinding, because that's when, you get to really stretch those legs out and get those cut 300s
Hmm.
going, and, all the fun stuff. Coach Mick, actually, I got one last question. What are your thoughts on
Yeah.
Coach Mick? I love Coach Mick. Coach Mick's my guy. So your thoughts on Coach Mick and what he can do to transform you and take you to that next level in terms of your physical development?
Coach Mick's my guy. He always be joking around with me and stuff like that. We had a set goal for me for my weight coming in. It was like 195 because I'm at 200, and
Yeah.
I weighed in other at like 202 almost. And he was like, "Damn, you're fat," and stuff like that. I mean, he just be joking with me and things like that. But man, Coach Mick, my guy. But I know he's gonna get the best out of me, and that's what I need in a coach like that. And my body is gonna look great and feel great in the next couple years, and that's what I need.
Yeah. Do you think you're destined to be our slot guy? We run a lot of three receiver sets. I think that you're a murderer in that slot role. Is that kind of where you envision your day one of practice in the fall, that you're kind of right behind Emeka in that slot role?
Yeah, I mean, Coach Hartline told me also I'll be taking the role as a slot receiver, but I wouldn't be surprised if I move it outside a little bit and even be placed at running back. I mean, I could do it all, but primarily I'll be a slot receiver.
Yeah, I think that's fantastic. It's fun to think about. You get JJ up there as an X, get you as kind of that H slot guy, and then you get Carnell as that Z, because you guys are all three 5-star receivers. You're all three different skill sets. So it's exciting, man. Keep those South Florida Express kids coming up here, man, 'cause we love them up here in Columbus, Ohio, with the Ohio State Buckeyes. So, Brandon, any final words? We're gonna wrap this thing up. I know you got there's some basketball to watch, and you go kick it for the rest of the night. But appreciate you coming on. Any final words for the Ohio State fans that are gonna be watching this?
I mean, I can't wait to get to work, Buckeye Nation. I'm excited. I'm ready, and that's about it.
That's perfect, brother. I appreciate you, my man. We're gonna wrap this thing up. Brandon Inniss. Brandon, the one Inniss, a fantastic player, fantastic kid, a kid that I think has a very, very bright future with Ohio State. I think he's going to do some great stuff for us. So, super excited about it. So, I'm going to wrap this thing up. Thank you guys, as always, for tuning in. I will let you guys go. Again, thank you, Buckeye Nation, and thank you, Scoop family. Go Bucks.